Hello, my name is Caden. This is Castle Tillage, your home defense network. This video may go a little long, so I'm going to be going pretty fast through it. Weapons-mounted lights. I am not opposed to them. I don't see or feel necessary for people to have them. There's very strong opinions about weapon-mounted lights, and it generally comes from people who sell classes for weapon-mounted lights. And we're going to be going over this fairly quick. There's going to be two areas where you're going to need a weapons-mounted light. One is going to be the home, and one is going to be outside the home in a CCW situation. We're going to take the CCW situation, and I may break off and have a separate video for the in-home situation, okay? Yeah, I will do that. I'll put in two videos, one for next week. So I'll slow down. The weapons-mounted light, what is it really good for? Well, it's good for identifying, making the final identifying shot and kill, okay? When you're out in the CCW world, when you're out and about in public, why do you need a weapons-mounted light? Well, people are going to say, well, you can have one hand free, but you need two hands to operate it. You're going to use this finger to turn the light on and this finger to shoot the stupid thing, right? So that just flies out the window. You need two hands to operate a weapons-mounted light, okay? Why do you need to use a light? Well, because you haven't identified a deadly threat yet, okay? If you haven't identified a deadly threat, and you do this, a lot of states you're breaking the law. You're brandishing. You actually elevated the entire situation in using deadly force. Just because you squeeze the trigger, that at that point doesn't mean it's deadly force. As soon as this handgun comes out of your holster, that alone is deadly force. Now I don't have a weapons mounted light on anymore, so I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, see, kind of something ridiculous like this. Let's say that you pulled your weapon and you are shining it somewhere. You haven't identified a deadly threat, have you? You are looking around for the deadly threat. You have the gun out. Legally, you cannot do that. Now, there have been 5 incidences where cops have used weapon-mounted lights and they shot their unattended victim. There was an accidental shooting because it takes more training. It takes a lot more training, and I'm going to prove it this way. Colorado, I don't know if they ever went with it, but they were looking at making a law saying that police officers cannot use weapon-mounted lights. There are a few counties in California where they cannot use weapon-mounted lights. There are several police departments where they will say that you need to have extra training for weapon-mounted lights. And there was one interview where a police chief was saying that he would go out in the field and he would watch his officers use this light on a weapon, and they would take it out and they would point it at the driver's license of the person that they stopped by. There is a reason why all these police agencies are kind of straying away from weapon-mounted light, all right? It is a training issue. It is a training issue. And put it to you this way, people. A majority of us have our life. We have our wives, we have the kids, we have our activities, whatever. We're going to be training with this. We are going to be doing software training with this, okay? Are we going to have that extra time to take that night class to go around tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd with the flashlight? I'm going to talk about the home in a different video, but this is what you need to know. As far as a weapons-mounted light for a civilian out there in public, as soon as you make that pull for your gun and it shows the light of day, it shows the moonlight, whatever you want to call it, when it's in the open, that is deadly force right there. And if you are a person who, of the opinion saying that a weapons-mounted light in public is a good thing because it frees up a hand, Well, it's kind of silly. I also want to say for people when you are, I'll get to that in the home aspect of it. So Colorado at one point was thinking about enacting a law where no police officer has done it. Several counties in California, you cannot have it. Several other agencies have deemed you can have it, but you have to have X amount of training. So for us as a civilian, we are not in a aggressive stance. Police officers, they need to be in an offensive stance in a lot of situations. This right here is a defensive tool only. It is not an offensive tool where you are seeking out a bad guy. This only comes out of your holster once you have identified a deadly threat. Plain and simple. So to have a weapons model light out in public, I don't really see the necessity of it. The extra weight, the only time you can really use it is for that last identifying shot, but do you really want to be flicking your fingers? What finger is going to go on what end? Turn this light, turn this, use this finger, turn this one, shot this one. It takes a lot of extra training to do that. I'm sorry. And I'm going to get some thumbs down on this. I know I am, but it's going to be from people who do not have the breadth and scope knowledge that I have when it comes to the legal aspects of using your gun and a weapons model light. My name is Caden. This is Castle Toolage, your home defense network. I hope this helps.